beautiful cut crease with red and gold and some red glitter as well. And the eyeshadow palette that I'll be using is the Bretman Rock Shadow Palette from Wet n Wild. Such a bomb palette. Let's start with the brows. I'm going to be using a pomade today from Ardell. This is in the shade medium brown. With the help of an angled brush, I'm going to start filling my brows in to shape it as well as fill in the sparse areas. And to clean up underneath the brows, I'm going to be using the Milani concealer, which is also going to be a base on my lids for the eyeshadows. Many of you have asked me about this brush. This is actually an eyeliner brush from e.l.f. I think it's just a $2 brush, but works amazing, especially for detailed work. With the Airspun loose powder, I'm going to quickly set my lids to make the blending easy, and the brush that I'm using is a small powder brush from Milani. I'm going to first dig into this beautiful bright red shade called Tau Can Play This Game, or You Can Play This Game. With the help of a pencil brush, I'm going to use it to carve out my crease. And then with the help of a small blending brush from Colourpop, I'm going to start softening out the edges. And I'm going to repeat these steps till I'm happy with the intensity. So I'm adding more color to the crease using the pencil brush, and then I'm going to buff it out again with the blending brush. Take your time to buff out the edges. That's when the shadows start looking really nice and feathered out. You don't want to leave the edges sharp. That's when it starts looking a little tacky. So buff out as much as you can and let it look really soft in the edges. Using this black eyeshadow called Alpha, I'm going to deepen the outer corner, and the brush that I'm using is a small flat shader brush from Coastal Scents. And then again, I'm going to buff out the edges to soften it. It's time to cut the crease, and for that I'm going to be using the Milani concealer once again. I'm going to first mark the area where I want to cut the crease, and then I'm going to clean up my lid space for any residue and fallout from the eyeshadows. And for that I'm using the micellar cleansing water. With a Q-tip, I'm going to quickly clean up the lid space. And then I'm going to paint the lid with the concealer, buffing out the edge with my finger to make the blending easy. While this concealer is still tacky, I'm going to quickly set it with King of the Jungle, which is a beautiful gold metallic eyeshadow. And for a nice transition, I'm going to be using Tau Can Play That Game again between the gold eyeshadow and the black. It's time to add some glitz and glamour with some glitter, and I'm going to be using this pressed red glitter from the Hip Dot palette. You can see that adds so much more character to the look, so I absolutely love glitters. And nice thing about pressed glitters is you don't need a sticky base, you can apply it directly. For the lower lash line, I'm going to first smoke out the red eyeshadow called Tau Can Play This Game, and the brush that I'm using is a small pencil brush from Colourpop. In the inner third, I'm going to be using the gold eyeshadow, King of the Jungle. Using Pearl, I'm going to highlight my brow bones as well as inner corners using a small flat shader brush again from Colourpop. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Maybelline gel liner in black, first in my waterline and then in my lash line. This is my favorite drugstore eyeliner. It's smudge proof, waterproof and very comfortable on the eyes. And then using the black eyeshadow, I'm going to thicken my lower lash line. And the brush that I'm using is a flat definer brush from Doe Color. And then we'll finish up with some mascara and lashes. For mascara, I'm using the Mega Length Mascara from Wet n Wild. One of my favorite mascaras, especially for lower lashes. It's so comfortable, so easy to apply. And for lashes, I'm going to be using Cosette from Carity. And my friends, here's the completed look, and I will see